to the Eisenhower Center. We're so glad that you're here and a part of this wonderful Veterans Gala.
That's my girl.
How you doing? Welcome. My name is Harry Lumpkin, and it is indeed an honor and privilege on behalf of the Vietnam veterans and all the villages proper to welcome you to one of our greatest recreation centers, Eisenhower. One of the mannequins there is of an African American. He doesn't have a hat on. That particular one is in the battle dress uniform. That uniform belonged to 4-star General Larry Ellis. Larry Ellis was the commanding general of 750,000 U.S. troops that are trained in the United States. And when we talked to him about getting a battle dress uniform, he said, I said, look, Larry, and Larry's a good friend of mine, I said, why would you not want to put your dress blue up there with all your ribbons and medals? He said, I gave my life, and so did my soldiers, in our battle dress uniform. And that's what they know me as, that's what it's representative of, and that's why I want, when you walk into this new place, the battle dress uniform would be one that you would see. God bless you for what you have given and the services that you have rendered. For all of us, this is a special place.
Welcome to Bonnet Bay.
Double up, tailor-made. I was in Vietnam. First tour was in Da Nang. I helped build a pier over there. Second tour was in July, and we built a hospital.
Wow. Well, how long were you in the service?
5 years, 3 months total.
Flag on their shoulder is even as we speak. Please stand and join me as we recite our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
We would love you to join us to sing this beautiful patriotic song.
Marie Bognadoff.
the motion. But I've been told that since I started Villages for Veterans, I had to speak. So here I am. I'm here to tell you what Villages for Veterans is and what we stand for. When I moved to the Villages, I found this community to be so wonderful that I wanted to share it with everybody, and I wanted to share the support and generosity of this community. And I thought of no better way to share it than to support our young veterans who got wounded severely. Not to take anything away from any of our veterans, they deserve all the honor and thank yous that they can get. But I have a very soft spot for anyone that has any issues as a result of their service. And I'm here to thank you for coming and helping me support this. And without further ado, I hope you have a wonderful evening. I'm going to introduce Captain Indy. Thank you.
Yeah, we can do that, right? Welcome, everybody. How wonderful it is to be able to get together and honor great Americans. So many of you here served in our military, and to me, you're great Americans. A little bit of the Independence, I'll tell you a little bit about the Independence Fund and what we do. We provide all-terrain chairs for warriors that can't get out on their own, so they can have their own freedom, do things that they wouldn't be able to do otherwise. We offer hyperbarics, healing for TBI, PTSD, and it's working. I've seen guys that was confined to a wheelchair a year ago just walking now. I have the distinct honor and pleasure to I play a dual role. I'm an ambassador to the Garrison East Foundation. And I'm also an advisor and an art instructor for the Independence Fund. And what a blessing it is. But those are just some of the things, and we're going to talk a little more about it, but without further ado, I'd like to honor two great Americans that I met tonight. I mean, these, on top of all the wounded veterans here, are my heroes. These are guys that fought. And because they won the fight, we're here, we have our freedom today. I'd like to honor Mr. Bognadoff and Irvin Lockett. Can you stand, please? These are World War II veterans that were like that on the ball. Thank you so much for your sacrifice and your service. We at the Independence Fund, and we work with other organizations like Villagers for Villagers for Veterans. I knew what it was. My brain just went for a second. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know I was human. But anyway, Villagers, Marie and I worked this. I think this is my 4th trip down there. We've done a lot of things. We've worked. We've raised money for John Peck, a quadruple amputee. He's going to get he's a quadruple amputee. He's going to get arm transplant, real arms. But with the Independence Fund, we're working all over the country. We've got a lot of guys here in Florida that we're helping. But I ask you as villagers and veterans and Christians, keep us in your prayers, because our mission is great. And just because the war may wane, with these veterans are going to continue to need us. They're going to continue. Their situation isn't changing a lot. So we need to be there to support them and take care of them. And to tell you a little bit more about it, this great lady and I have been friends for a long time, and we go around the country and we've raised a lot of money together. And I had nothing really to do with it. She's just a fine lady, and she lets me tag along. But ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Miss Jennifer Griffith.
Thank you, Marie. Thank you, Brian, for that incredible story that gave me chills before we said the Pledge of Allegiance. I want to tell you a little bit more about the Independence Fund because, as you know, I work for Fox News. I work at the Pentagon every day. I'm the national security correspondent. And I came to know about the Independence Fund because I met an American Airlines pilot. His name's Steve Daniluk. He goes by Luker, and he was a Marine who served out in Fallujah, Ramadi, that area. And he came back home and he realized that not enough was being done for our wounded veterans. And so he decided from the cockpit of his American Airlines plane, he would try to raise money for one motorized wheelchair that would help some of the double, triple, and quadruple amputees that were coming home. And in previous wars, these folks never would have survived. But battlefield medicine got to be so good in the last 15 years that they're coming home and they're surviving. And so Luker decided that he would raise money for one wheelchair at a time to try and help amputees at Walter Reed get back out into nature and get back out doing things to help with their depression, to help with PTSD, to help with all sorts of issues. And so we did a story on John Peck, who many of you know because he came down here. He's one of 5 quadruple amputees from the wars. And John told us about this chair. It was called a track chair, and it looked like a wheelchair with tank treads. And John said, boy, I sure would like one of those track chairs. And it cost $15,000, which was a princely sum for all of us and for the Independence Fund at the time. The Independence Fund is different from other Wounded Warrior groups because it's all volunteer, it's all veteran run, and nobody takes a salary. So John Peck introduced us to this idea of the track chair, the all-terrain chair. And we saw this and we thought, wow, how many double, triple, quadruple amputees are there who might need one of these chairs? And we set a goal of raising money for 15 chairs. This was about 2.5 years ago. And I took Bill O'Reilly, who was down in Washington for a correspondence dinner. Bill O'Reilly came to Walter Reed and we were giving away one of the track chairs that he had donated. And he said, after we left there, the guys were all talking about track chairs. Everybody wanted a track chair. And he said to me on the car ride back to Washington, Jennifer, what do we need to do to get everyone a track chair? I said, Bill, all it'll take is a little money. And, and Bill O'Reilly, as you know, when you tell him something, he takes it, and when he's got a bee in his bonnet and he wants something done, he started talking up the Independence Fund and the Track Chair Initiative every night on his show. And tomorrow night we'll be giving the 1,000th track chair.
Also, if you want to know about the track chairs, you go to independencefund.org, independencefund.org.
What's beautiful about these chairs, they're more than chairs. They're so symbolic in terms of the independence, the freedom that they give back to the amputee, but also to his family. Don't forget that everybody who's injured, they have caregivers and they have families who are affected by their injuries. So these chairs are changing families, and they are an incredible, incredible tool in terms of the recovery that is needed. What Woody was also referring to were the hyperbaric oxygen treatments. What we're finding is that the next phase of this, of what's going to be a generational commitment to veterans, the hyperbaric oxygen chambers, basically what scuba divers use if they get the bends, they use this extra oxygen to help them heal. we're finding that it's helping to heal traumatic brain injury and PTSD. And so we would like to raise more money to give more veterans with PTS and traumatic brain injuries opportunity to go through this oxygen treatment. Can I ask Shanda Taylor Boyd to stand up? One of the other reasons we're here tonight is to honor women veterans, because as we all know, during the last 15 years, and even prior to that, women have been serving in the military. They've been serving in combat. Whether you want to say that, whether there's a law against serving in combat, women like Shanda and like Captain Leslie Smith, who's here with us tonight, they served in combat. They served and they were injured. Shanda is most of you know Shanda as Shanda Bear. And Shanda I've known for several years now, and she suffered a traumatic brain injury. She was a nurse. She suffered a traumatic brain injury, and she told me this was the first time I'd seen her since October. And she said she'd been doing these hyperbaric oxygen chamber deep dives with the oxygen for the last 4 months. And I'm telling you, she told me that her 3 daughters said that it is like night and day. The healing that has occurred for Shanda as a result of this treatment is unbelievable. And Shanda, I just want to congratulate you for going through what you've been through in the last, you've been fighting the good fight, and you've been working with veterans, and now I'm just so glad that there's a treatment out there that has helped you the way it has. And we want to make sure that treatment is available to everyone who serves. I also want to introduce you to another amazing lady, Captain Leslie Smith. Leslie, would you mind standing up? Woody was putting her high heel on her prosthetic leg. I told her it was like a Cinderella story, so I don't know what's happening. But Leslie was serving in Bosnia when she got a blood clot that led to a blood infection that eventually caused her to lose one leg as well as her eyesight. She's now legally blind. She is an extraordinary lady who works tirelessly for our veterans. I always see her up at Walter Reed. You may have recognized her from Project Runway because she walked down the runway with the other models, showing just how elegant one can look with a prosthetic leg, and to draw attention to all the women who have served over the last 15 years. And in fact, she won. Woody reminds me, she won. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you to Bob Udell. Thank you to Irving Locker for the generations of service that are in this room tonight. This is an amazing community. My husband Greg and I have been so touched by the warmth and the hospitality of everyone here at the villages. I want to mention one other special couple who's here tonight. As you know, my colleague, many of you are Fox News watchers, I noticed. And many of you know that my colleague Tony Snow's parents are here with us tonight, and I just want to say hello. Tony lost his battle with cancer, but he will always have a special place in our hearts. So thank you very much for coming out tonight. Enjoy the evening, and thank you for all of your hospitality.
Here's a pretty song. We just had a request for this one. Take the ribbons from your head, shake it loose, let it flow. Hold me close against your skin, like the shadows on the wall. Let me lay down by your side till the early morning. I'm not asking for your life, just help me make it through the night. I don't care what's right or wrong, I'm just trying to understand. Let the devil take tomorrow, 'cause tonight I need her. Yesterday is dead and tomorrow is out of sight. I don't wanna be alone. Help me make it through the night. A little flute there for you. I don't care what's right or wrong, I'm just trying to understand. Oh, let the devil take tomorrow, 'cause tonight I need her. Yesterday's day gone. I don't wanna be alone. Help me make it through the night. I don't wanna be alone. Help me make it through the night. Please tables 1 through 5 are invited to help yourself to the delicious buffet. Tables 1 through 5, go ahead and help yourself. Bon appetit, everybody, have a good time. We're gonna turn it over to John Zach to sing a little Louis Prima. Just a little, everywhere I go, people know the ball comes through. Every dance, 7 years old man, what they say. And there will come a day when you will pass away. They say about me, and the end comes I know, well, so just to be alone. Life goes on without me. I'm just a little low, chill out. Everywhere I go, chill out. Chill on the bar, chill out. Chill out. Every day, chill out. Some you told me, chill out. What they say, chill out. As I'm a contact, you will pass away. What they say about me, and the end comes I know, so don't you be low. Life goes on without me.
But before I do my I'd like to say a few words about our Pledge of Allegiance before we conduct this. And the reason for that is I have a story about the Pledge of Allegiance, and it's actually my favorite story in life. And it's not about me. It's about my own personal heroes in life, and that's veterans of our Vietnam War. And the veterans that I'm going to speak about. are those that were POWs during our Vietnam War. These were men that were basically housed on bare concrete floors, which they likely shared with things like rats and roaches. These were men that were fed little more than water and dirt for years on end, which would keep them in a constant state of starvation. Men who were the daily recipients of beatings and torture. And as told by Senator John McCain, it happened that in 1971, a young Navy flight officer named Mike Christian was moved into the same cell as now Senator McCain. And Senator McCain, he describes Mike Christian as one who really appreciated the opportunities that both America and the military presented for somebody that wanted to work hard and wanted to succeed. And at that time, in the Hanoi Hilton, they were allowing a few care packages to be received by some of the POWs being housed there. Care packages which contained things like scarves and handkerchiefs and bits of clothing. And out of a bamboo needle and a few strips of cloth, Mike Christian fashioned an American flag on the inside of one of his shirts. And every day, prior to receiving their watery meal, those cellmates would hang Mike Christian's shirt up on the wall, and they would recite the Pledge of Allegiance. And Senator McCain noted that to be the most important and meaningful part of each and every day that they had there. But as could have been anticipated by anybody staying in the Hanoi Hilton, their cell was of course searched randomly from time to time. And this shirt of Mike Christian was discovered, and of course it was removed. And that evening, those guards, they came for Mike Christian, and for the benefit of all the other prisoners there, they beat Mike Christian for hours. But the most important part of the story is this. Mike Christian's cellmates, they cleaned him up as best they could, but after that, he wasn't found sitting there cursing God, and he wasn't found sitting there cursing his country. He was found sitting on top of that cold concrete floor, stitching another American flag.